Hi, how y'all doing? It's Tuesday, the 30th of September 2025. Here in Ontario, Canada, skies are blue. They were blue yesterday too. No clouds, right? And a little bit of the exhaust is still around, but it's lessening. I slept pretty good last night, as far as I can remember. I dreamt all night, but I don't recall. Right? And then around 6:30, my left foot tried to cramp up, so it woke me up and I got up. I made an appointment for the chiropractor today, so I went to the chiropractor and uh, laid down, and he looked at me and asked me about my pain. I told him it's like almost killed me the other day on Friday, and thought I was gonna die, and it feels like I'm being twisted, right? Like wrung out like a wet cloth. And I said, because he had me on my stomach, I said, "Can you see the how I'm aligned or whatever, my spine?" He's like, "I can see that." He's like, "This is strange." He goes, "You are being twisted. Your body is twisting, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And I was like, "It's painful." I said, and I told him where I had all the sharp pains and stuff like that. And I told him about the nervous system, how the four bodies are and all that, right? And the nerves. And he goes, "Well, this isn't your nerves." He says, "Your nerves don't go all the way up into your head like that, right?" He's like, "It's not your nerves that's doing this." He says, "I don't know what's doing this." So I was like, "Yeah, me neither. I just wish it was a stop, right?" I said, "It is intense." And he was like, "I bet." So he worked on me, did the best he could do. Cleaned out my lungs, a little bit of the congestion's gone. But yeah, my muscles are still quite pumped, you know, and not supposed to be. But that's part of my ascension, I guess, is this twisting. I said to him, "I must be somebody pretty important, eh? To be attacked like this, twisted up. Because none of his other patients have this, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Maybe it's a spiritual attack." He goes, and says, about the Kundalini, right? How it goes like that up the spine. I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is what that kind of feels like." He says, "So it could be a spiritual attack. You might be right, right?" And I was like, "Oh man." And then I told him what I had learned about fibromyalgia, how it has to do with your electrolytes and the heavy metal on the end of your nerves is what's causing the numbness and pain and stuff like that. And I said, "The only problem is how the hell do you get it off your nerves, right? How do you?" He says, "Detox it, right?" I was like, "Yeah, but how?" I said, "There's lots of stuff online." I said, "But how do you get through the snake oil salesman to find the real antidote, right?" He's like, "Yeah." He says, "It could be really expensive." I said, "Yeah, I don't have it to do that." I said, "So I'm older. I got poison more, you know." He's like, "He gets it. He does." So yeah, that was my horizon. Then I came home, and I've just been doing my best not to allow my left side to tighten up again. I get this strange gurgling feeling right under my solar plexus on the left side, right? It is really weird. And it goes right through. So whatever's going like that that's twisting me up is like gurgle here, right? Before it moves up. Weird. Just friggin' weird. My son with his girlfriend out to the res to do a walk, and wasn't sure what it meant until my friend phoned me just a while ago and was talking to me, right? And she's telling me that the disability office is closed, right? She had some business to do with them, but they're closed because of Truth and Reconciliation Day. It's a thing in Canada today. I didn't realize it, right? Because I don't pay attention to mainstream. And then I was like, "Oh, that's what he's doing, right?" And then I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "I don't agree with that at all." I said, "That's the invaders, Canaanite side of the family, that's saying, oh, okay, the truth is coming out about what we've done to you and your ancestors, so can we reconcile? Can we still be friends? Can you forgive us? Can we still get along?" No. Nah. I don't consent. Not a friggin' chance. You're gonna get what is owed to you. What you deserve for all your misdeeds. Right? That's how I feel about it. I ain't friggin' reconciling with him. Not in the least. But I guess this walk is going to be full of vaxxed people because the awakened ones would know better and they wouldn't do it, right? So yeah, my screen keeps changing colors again. Yesterday, the Schuman was at 13. The day before, it was at 55. The last time I did a video, right? So, came down a bit. It hasn't been posted for today. My ears started ringing very loudly again today. Yesterday, not so much, right? So, yeah. I'm just rubbing my back. I know you can't see, I got my hand behind my back. Oh, man. It's rough. It is rough. You know? What else? Oh, I was watching a video. Did you know that they found two giant people down in the States somewhere? I can't remember if it was Utah or something like that. In a tomb that were in stasis. Giant melanated people, a man and a woman, sitting on like kind of thrones. And they're in stasis. Do you know what stasis means? Right? Think back to your science fiction movies when they put you in stasis so that you could travel to another universe so that you wouldn't age while you were doing it. Maybe that's the return of the giants. They've waking them up out of their stasis, right? Because they didn't end, they didn't pass, they were in stasis. And I thought that resonates with me. It's very interesting, right? So the Smithsonian didn't destroy all of the giants. I've just been learning, watching Crimeo, learning more about the people that invaded us, who took our land that wasn't supposed to be theirs. They didn't want their own, they wanted ours. And now they got all of their brothers. Or they had, but they've lost. That's why we ain't reconciling. You know what I mean? They don't deserve it. They don't belong here. So yeah, they hurt the ancestors and many people enough, right? Of every color, every hue. I don't like saying color. We ain't crayons, right? We're not. And I realized it was this Noble Drew Ali character that was pushing the narrative that the melanated people were the one true extreme, like not extreme, I can't think of the word to use for it, more advanced race. It was him and his Freemason teachings, right? That was talking to the congregation of melanated people, the copper colored people in the States, to get them to convert, right? Because in his religion of Islam, it was also part Christian out of the Bible, right? Which does not make sense. And who are you to name yourself a prophet? Just like an elder. Just because you get aged doesn't mean that you're an elder. An elder is a meaning of a person that's older, that is wise, right? And you don't get to call yourself that. The people around you are the ones that do that, that make you the elder. You don't make yourself one. Just like the people would make you a prophet. You don't get to make yourself one. All right? Do you understand? It's just more push on religion as far as I can see, as far as I've learned. But you never know. The more I learn more about it, maybe he will redeem himself some way, right? In the books that Cremeo's reading. But I think I've seen through it. Sad. So we are one. We're all one. I don't care what hue we are. You're no better, you're no less. Because we're one, okay? I'm not better than you, and you're not better than me. I'm not worse than you, and you're not worse than me. So, that's a thing, but it ain't a thing, you know? My friend too, that the other thing, right? She was saying how I was asking how because she asked me how I was feeling, and I told her, and she was like, "Oh no," I was like, "Don't feel sorry for me. I don't want your pity." I said, "You asked me how I was feeling, so I'm just telling you how I'm feeling, right? It's just what I'm going through in this ascension." And I asked her how she was feeling. She goes, "Energy is lacking. She doesn't feel like she has enough energy to do what she needs to do throughout the day." Right? Because she quit her job being a Slav at the grocery store, and now she's looking after her canines in her home, right? And she says she's still, low energy. She's just feeling exhausted all the time. But you know what? It's hard work being a butterfly or turning into a butterfly, says the caterpillar. It really is. It's not an easy job. Can you imagine how they feel when they're going through the metamorphosis? Right? The poor things. Plus, there was two like this is what we're told, supernova stars that exploded, I believe a week ago or so, and another earthquake, right? And because I'm attached to Mother Earth, I am an earth sign, and I feel all the vibrations. Maybe this is what I'm feeling, right? Being twisted, like it's like they put me on a rack, holding my head straight and just twisting my torso. My body just twisting it. It is messed up, folks. It is. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what it is, right? I think we have a geometric storm hitting us too today. That's probably why my ears ringing so loudly. So yeah, I I give nah consent because I've been watching subtitles of other countries. They don't say no, they say nah, N-A-W, or nah. You know what I mean? No, nah. There's no because no is two words. I know and no, right? So instead of saying no, I say nah. So not consent to the truth and reconciliation. They shall be held in judgment for their misdeeds that they have committed ever since they stole their brother's land. And everything they have done to Mother Nature and to man, or to people, to the ancestors, to us, and everybody in between. They are to be held accountable. I call justice. So, yeah, that's how it goes for me. A couple more days. I think Thursday we're going to be changing I just glitched. We're going to be changing the moon sign again. The moon phase into the waning, waxing gibbous. Trust and have faith. It's like trying to catch yourself in a mirror, right? Look away, and then look back real fast. See if you move. I know, it's weird. I had an out of a body experience the other day too. I forgot to tell you about. I don't know if it was before the attack on my body or after, but I got up to use the bathroom, and I literally seen myself outside of my body sitting down on the toilet, right? And then I backed into myself. And I sat there and I was like, wow, that was strange. What was that? Did I just have an out of body experience? Right? I seen myself from outside of myself. Trippy. Right? Very trippy. But yeah, I've been seeing weird things lately. Like a leaf fell from the tree, and I could have sworn if I jumped because I thought it fell into the house through the closed window. And then I realized, nah, it was outside. What? Why did I do that? Right? Why did I see that? Strange. So, third eye, is it here? Is here, right? I did videos about this years ago. But weird. All right. I hope you're all doing better than me. I do. Send you love and good health and all that good stuff. Every day I'm stronger than the day before. Every day I have more wisdom than the day before. And every day I am more protected from spiritual attacks. And I'm grateful for it. I love you all as a consciousness. Enjoy this night or day. Okay? Okay. Bye.